it's definitely something that could help everybody. Just knowing that when something comes up in our life that feels, do you ever wonder what it would be like if you were able to share with your younger self, let's say your 20-year-old self, something that you know now because of what you've gone through, that your 20-year-old self would have really appreciated knowing. A lot of ideas that I had in my mind that I thought were fact, or thought that that was the way things had to be, gave me so many reasons to worry and torture myself mentally, probably create havoc in my body, all because I had these ideas and thoughts in my mind of how things were supposed to be. Now that I'm 57, there's a lot of things that I wish I could tell my 20-year-old self. If I had to think about one really big idea, I guess I would say to myself, Lar, every time you feel like something you're going through is just the worst thing that could happen, or it's making you feel so bad, any kind of obstacle or challenge that you're facing, it's actually going to turn out to be a lesson. You're going to learn something from what's happening right now. I know it seems so hard, but it's not going to last forever. It's going to be a lot quicker than you think. And on the other side of it is going to be a beautiful lesson, an outcome just waiting for you. An outcome that you're so happy with. Every time something happens that feels so hard, know that it's happening for a reason. I know that sounds easy to say. It is easy to say, but it's also very true. Remember that when things seem like they're getting really tough and you want to give up, that it's going to get better and that you will make it through. And with each time that you go through something that feels like that or similar, it's just part of becoming who you are. I know it's a lesson that I would share with myself. It's definitely something that could help everybody. Just knowing that when something comes up in our life that feels so difficult, it's never going to get better. Just know that it will. I can think of a time that was pretty difficult in my personal life when I was around 20, my junior year of college. I was studying to be a teacher. The school where I was student teaching had an opening for the following year, which would be after I graduated. And I was debating if I should apply for that job, but it was an hour south of where my college was. And I also had a boyfriend at the time in the same college. And he was going to graduate a semester after me, and he lived north, about 3 hours, let's say. So after I graduated, I knew if I decided to apply for that job where I was student teaching, that would mean I was staying in Maryland, but an hour south. And my boyfriend and we were not at the point of deciding where this was going, right? We were still very young. But in my mind, at the time, I had to know. You could not convince me otherwise. And that was that we would have this commitment, and whether I stayed or I didn't stay, I would at least know how my path was going to pan out after I graduated. Now, I did that to myself a lot. I would make up in my mind the way I thought things needed to be. It wasn't until much later in life that I realized how many things are out of my control. And it's such a waste of energy and emotions and everything. It's just a waste of your time to worry and be upset about things that are out of our control. Took me a long time to learn that. So if I knew that then, in that wasn't really a moment, it was a long time. So during that time, if I would have known it's okay for things to be hard, because that's when we learn. And I didn't have to have it all figured out like I thought I did. And also the way I thought things were going to pan out, they turned out completely different. I never would have foreseen what was to come. We really never can. That boyfriend is not who I ended up marrying. I also didn't end up staying in Maryland to teach. After a year and a half, I moved back home. So I had a great experience teaching there, but all of that worrying over what was going to happen and was I going to get that commitment that I wanted from my boyfriend at the time, and should I stay in Maryland and take that job, because what would that mean for my future teaching if I wanted to go back north towards home. All of the time I spent putting myself through that turmoil, it was a learning experience. It was part of my becoming the adult person that I am now. So it took time to realize life is so much about our journey and the experiences that we go through, both good and bad. They all teach us. It's okay to let go and to be in the flow state of having less resistance, and just knowing that it's okay to go with what is in my heart at that moment. And it's not some big, huge choice that I'm making that is going to determine everything else for the rest of my life. If you ever feel like that and fill yourself with worry and struggle with what's going to happen and what if that, and what are you going to do and if that, please know it will work out. Think about what you want in your heart. We usually have the truth inside, knowing that the journey is really what it's all about. Knowing that no matter how little or how much worrying you do and put yourself through, life will still happen and things will be the way they will be. So as much as you can, make sure that you are as present as you can. Don't take everything so seriously and make everything so much bigger than it needs to be. A good reminder to tell yourself is to embrace today. This is truly what we have. We will never have this moment again. Remember how important it is to love yourself. Give yourself the quiet moments that you need. Even if it's only a little bit, it'll grow the more you do it. And remember, relax, take a breath. It's going to be okay. You'll get through this. Thanks so much for listening. I hope that there was something in my words that can help you. I love you.